Hello, Mr. Webb. I'm going to be presenting my individual philosophy topic in the form of a video debate because I feel like this is the best way and most convincing way to show my research and my ideas on my topic, which is the idea of the morality of playing God. Now, this is an argument that's most often brought up in genetic research. A lot of people think that changing the human genome in any way, shape, or form, or messing with genetics at all, is immoral and is a sin because we are playing with God's creation. However, I would argue that this is not the case. Firstly, what is it to play God exactly? Because if you think about it, playing God is really all we've done as a species. Thinking back to the earliest humans, we have created tools using natural resources to form things that didn't naturally exist before we came along. And sure, maybe those are using natural resources, so that's not playing God, but what about all the ancient, majestic cities that we've constructed? These ginormous creations that have altered God's largest creation, the earth. Is that not considered playing God? What about right here, right now, what I'm doing? I'm using a device that can record video, take a bunch of images, and record sound made out of materials that don't naturally exist, materials that we have created with our own hands through these crazy scientific methods. Is that not considered playing God at all? And even if you believe that the act of playing God only applies to genetic research and things like that, well, this isn't the first time we've done that. We've still always done that as a species. Think about dogs. Specifically, think about the Welsh Corgi, or any species of dog that really wouldn't survive in nature by themselves. These dogs were all created by us through selective breeding that took tens, if not hundreds of years to create these specific kinds of dogs. That is messing with genetics. That is, by certain people's definition, playing God. And even if playing God is something that only applies to us humans, to our genetics, what do we do naturally when we fall in love? When we try to find a mate? We select people that we believe have good traits, and we naturally do this. We don't make this a conscious decision. If there is a higher power involved, then he has made us naturally want to improve ourselves genetically. And genetic research is no different from this. It's just using different tools in a more efficient process. This may be playing God, but playing God is all that we've ever done as human beings. So looking at the opposing argument, I did a little research online to see what people think about playing God and why they think it's wrong. And a piece of very famous literature that a lot of people reference is the movie Jurassic Park. And at first it might seem strange, but I can understand where these people are coming from. Jurassic Park is a movie where a man discovers dinosaur DNA and plays God by bringing back these extinct creatures. Eventually those creatures get out, wreak havoc, and kill several people. So many use this as the argument. This is why we shouldn't play God, because it has the potential to harm us. However, I would argue against that fact, and I would argue against the fact that the point of Jurassic Park is that humans shouldn't play God. Think about what happens in that movie. The dinosaurs don't wreak havoc by themselves. They wreak havoc due to human greed. One man decides he wants to steal and sell the research conducted at the labs in Jurassic Park, so he shuts down all the security and releases the dinosaurs, which in turn go and kill a bunch of people. Yes, it is a creation that was created from a man playing God. However, it was human greed that caused these creations to go on a rampage and kill several people. And this might sound familiar, and it should, because it's all we've done as humans. We've created weapons that are meant to protect ourselves and hunt, and instead we use them to kill each other. We created chemicals that were used for medicine and to create new products like plastic. And we also used these chemicals in things like bombs in World War I to brutally murder hundreds of people. We created nuclear energy so that we could power our cities, our hospitals, things that save lives, and then we used it to create the atom bomb, which killed thousands, and has the potential to kill many more than that. And that's the thing about playing God. Yes, it can be destructive. These creations can be destructive. However, it is not the act of playing God that causes this destruction. It is our own greed. It is our own flaws that are immoral. It is not playing God. Because in a utilitarian society, we wouldn't want to stop the production of medicine or stop the production of electricity because it can potentially be harmful, because it's bringing the best thing to the most amount of people. And this is what most of society agrees with. You'll find very few people who think we should just cut electricity, stop all nuclear production, and just destroy all the weapons that we ever have because they have the potential to harm other people. And yes, there are certain things like the argument debates about Second Amendment rights, but that's not exactly what I'm discussing. I'm discussing the destruction of every kind of weapon. And most people don't believe that this is the right thing to do because it is supporting the most amount of people. Now, it is true that every scientific progress that we make in our existence will always have drawbacks. It'll always hurt people. However, the amount of people it helps is extraordinary, and this is true of genetic research. Yes, it's true, there could be some sort of weapon in the future created using this genetic research that we can't even fathom right now. But think about all the people that it will help. Think about all the genetic diseases that can be completely destroyed from us playing God. So no, playing God is not immoral. It's not wrong by our own society's definition of morality, because the amount of people it will help far outweighs the amount of people that it will possibly hurt. And that's a possibility, not necessarily a fact. But this is only looking at our own society. I did a little research into the Bible, because I wondered if there was any specific part that says playing God is a sin. Now, there are a lot of verses in the Bible that do talk about God's works and the humans' roles in these works, but nothing directly says what playing God entails, and nothing, absolutely, of course, nothing says anything about genetic research. However, I did find one quote that I would like to tell you about. This is from Matthew. "You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden, nor do people light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a stand, and it gives light to all in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven." Now, this is most easily interpreted as that our works, our progress, our intelligence, the things we do and the changes we make are here to help us, are here to help humanity, and are here to be done in God's glory. So I would argue that not only is playing God not wrong, the things like genetic research that many religious people are against are not playing God at all. Because they are doing this research. They are improving lives through God's hand. And they are creating a better world. God's better world. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening, and thank you for taking the time out of your day to grade this. And I hope some of my ideas might make you think, and maybe change your own viewpoints, whoever may watch this, if it's not just you, Mr. Webb.